Salvation comes from my one self. Salvation comes from my one self. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. The fact that truth and illusions cannot be reconciled, no matter how you try, what means you use, and where you see the problem, where you see the problem must be accepted if you would be saved. Spirit makes use of mind to find self-expression, and the mind which serves the Spirit is at peace and filled with joy. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Yourself retains its thoughts, and they remain within your mind. Remain within your mind and in the mind of God. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in your mind and offers it the way to peace, and offers it the way to peace. Salvation is a thought you share with God. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. We will attempt today to find this thought, whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by Him who speaks to you from your one self. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for Him within your mind. Salvation comes from this one self, through Him who is the bridge between your mind and it, the bridge between your mind and it. Wait patiently and let Him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do. Restored to it. What your mind can do, restored to it, and free to serve its will. Begin with saying this: salvation is from my one self. Salvation comes from my one self. Salvation comes from my one self. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Then seek its thoughts and claim them as your own. If you succeed, the thoughts that come to you will tell you you are saved, and that your mind has found the function that it sought to lose. Each time today you tell your frantic mind, salvation comes from your one self. You lay another treasure in your growing store, another treasure in your growing store. And all of it is given everyone who asks for it, and will accept the gift, and will accept the gift, and will accept the gift. Think then how much is given unto you to give this day, to give this day, that it be given you, that it be given you. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in studying Lesson 96 in A Course in Miracles here for Monday, April the 6th of 2026. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. Salvation comes from my one self. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two, as both good and evil, loving and hating, mind and body. This sense of being split into opposites induces feelings of acute and constant conflict and leads to frantic attempts to reconcile the contradictory aspects of this self-perception. You have sought many such solutions, and none of them has worked. The opposites you see in you will never be compatible, but one exists. The fact that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled no matter how you try, what means you use, and where you see the problem must be accepted if you would be saved. Until you have accepted this, you will attempt an endless list of goals you cannot reach, a senseless series of expenditures of time and effort, hopefulness and doubt, each one as futile as the one before, and failing as the next one surely will. Problems that have no meaning cannot be resolved within the framework they are set. Two selves in conflict could not be resolved, and good and evil have no meeting place. The self you made can never be yourself, nor can yourself be split in two, and still be what it is and must forever be. A mind and body cannot both exist. Make no attempt to reconcile the two, for one denies the other can be real. If you are physical, your mind is gone from your self-concept. For if it has no place in which it could be really part of you, for it has no place in which it could be really part of you. If you are spirit, then the body must be meaningless to your reality. Spirit makes use of mind as means to find self-expression, and the mind which serves the spirit is at peace and filled with joy. Its power comes from spirit, and it is fulfilling happily its function here. Yet mind can also see itself divorced from spirit and perceive itself within a body. It confuses with itself. Without its function, then, it has no peace, and happiness is alien to its thoughts. Yet mind, apart from spirit, cannot think. It has denied its source of strength and sees itself as helpless, limited, and weak. Dissociated from its function now, it thinks it is alone and separate, attacked by armies amassed against itself, and hiding in the body's frail support. Now must it reconcile unlike with like, for this is what it thinks that it is for. Waste no more time on this. Who can resolve the senseless conflicts which a dream presents? What could the resolution mean in truth? What purpose could it serve? What is it for? Salvation cannot make illusions real, nor solve a problem that does not exist. Perhaps you hope it can. Yet would you have God's plan for the release of his dear Son bring pain to him and fail to set him free? Yourself retains its thoughts, and they remain within your mind and in the mind of God. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in your mind and offers it the way to peace. Salvation is a thought you share with God, because his voice accepted it for you and answered in your name that it was done. Thus is salvation kept among the thoughts yourself holds dear and cherishes for you. We will attempt today to find this thought, whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by God, who speaks to you from your one self. really it's Him, which is referring to the Holy Spirit, which is God's voice in this world. We will attempt today to find this thought, whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by Him who speaks to you from your one self. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for Him within your mind. Salvation comes from this one self through Him who is the bridge between your mind and your one self. Wait patiently and let Him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do, restored to it and free to serve its will. Begin with saying this: salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Remember the cloud patterns that we were lost in, and our mind is the vast circle, and that we seem to be outside of our own minds, lost in the cloud patterns? Well, we're going to ask for the voice for God to come to bridge the gap between where we think we're at and where we truly are, the mind of God, which contains everything. Begin with saying this: salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Then seek its thoughts and claim them as your own. These are your own real thoughts you have denied, and let your mind go wandering in a world of dreams to find illusions in their place. Here are your thoughts, the only ones you have. Salvation is among them. Find them there. If you succeed, the thoughts that come to you will tell you you are saved and that your mind has found the function that it sought to lose. Yourself will welcome it and give it peace. Restored in strength, it will again flow out from Spirit to the Spirit in all things created by the Spirit as itself. Your mind will bless all things. Confusion done, you are restored, for you have found yourself. Yourself knows that you cannot fail today. Perhaps your mind remains uncertain yet a little while. Be not dismayed by this. The joy yourself experiences, it will save for you, and it will yet be yours in full awareness. Every time you spend 5 minutes of the hour seeking Him who joins your mind and self, you offer Him another treasure to be kept for you. Each time today you tell your frantic mind salvation comes from your one self, you lay another treasure in your growing store, and all of it is given everyone who asks for it and will accept the gift. Think then how much is given unto you to give this day, that it be given you. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Okay, let's go take a look at our text reading. And we're ready for, we're in chapter 11, God or the Ego, Roman numeral 4, the inheritance of God's Son. As you're turning there, if you're reading through the original edition with me this year of A Course in Miracles, read chapter 10 and Roman numeral 8 from paragraph 78 to the end of the chapter. If you're reading through the New Testament, read chapter 8 of Acts. In Iyengar Yoga, for your Hatha Yoga, page 116 and 117. Oh, I know, 116, 117, 118, and 119. Do all 4 of those. Up to, let me write that in here, up to 119. Because 116 and 117 are mainly just cover pages for the next chapter. There's a little bit there. A Course of Love, chapter 32, if you're reading through it, read the whole chapter. It's only 6 paragraphs long. Okay, let's take a look at the inheritance of God's Son. And remember all through the day, what? Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Never forget that the sonship is your salvation, for the sonship is yourself. As God's creation, it is yours, and belonging to you, it is His. Yourself does not need salvation, but your mind needs to learn what salvation is. You are not saved from anything, but you are saved for glory. Glory is your inheritance, given you by your Creator that you might extend it. Yet if you hate part of yourself, all your understanding is lost, because you are looking on what God created as yourself without love. And since what He created is part of Him, you are denying Him His place in His own altar. Basically, if you're hating your brothers, you can't find yourself because your brothers are part of you. Paragraph 2. Could you try to make God homeless and know that you are at home? Can the Son deny the Father without believing that the Father has denied Him? God's laws hold only for your protection, and they never hold in vain. What you experience when you deny your Father is still for your protection, for the power of your will cannot be lessened without the intervention of God against it. And any limitation on your power is not the will of God. Therefore, look only to the power that God gave to save you, remembering that it is yours because it is His, and join with your brothers in His peace. 3. Your peace lies in its limitlessness. Limit the peace you share, and yourself must be unknown to you. Every altar to God is part of you because the light He created is one with Him. Would you cut off a brother from the light that is yours? You would not do so if you realize that you can darken only your own mind. As you bring him back, so will you return. This is the law of God, for the protection of the wholeness of His Son. Only you can deprive yourself of anything. Only you can deprive yourself of anything. Do not oppose this realization, for it is truly the beginning of the dawn of light. Only you can deprive yourself of anything. Do not oppose this realization, for it is truly the beginning of the dawn of light. Remember also that the denial of this simple fact takes many forms, and these you must learn to recognize and to oppose steadfastly, without exception. This is a crucial step in the reawakening. The beginning phases of this reversal are often quite painful, for as blame is withdrawn from without, there is a strong tendency to harbor it within. It is difficult at first to realize that this is exactly the same thing, for there is no distinction between within and without. Love yourself in yourself and love yourself outside yourself, all your brothers and sisters. Have peace for all of them. Paragraph 5, if your brothers are part of you and you blame them for your deprivation, you're blaming yourself. And you cannot blame yourself without blaming them. That is why blame must be undone, not seen elsewhere. Lay it to yourself and you cannot know yourself, for only the ego blames at all. Self-blame is therefore ego identification, and as much an ego defense as blaming others. You cannot enter God's presence if you attack His Son. When His Son lifts His voice in praise of His Creator, He will hear the voice for His Father. Yet the Creator cannot be praised without His Son, for their glory is shared and they are glorified together. Paragraph 6. Christ is at God's altar, waiting to welcome His Son. But come wholly without condemnation, for otherwise you will believe that the door is barred, and you cannot enter. The door is not barred, and it is impossible that you cannot enter the place where God would have you be. But love yourself with the love of Christ, for so does your Father love you. You cannot refuse to enter, but you cannot refuse to enter. But you cannot bar the door that Christ holds open. Come unto me, who hold it open for you. For while I live, it cannot be shut. And I live forever, says Yeshua. God is my life and yours, and nothing is denied by God to His Son. 7. At God's altar, Christ waits for the restoration of himself in you. God knows his Son is wholly blameless as himself, and he is approached through the appreciation of his Son. Christ waits for your acceptance of him as yourself and of his wholeness as yours. For Christ is the Son of God, who lives in his Creator and shines with his glory. Christ is the extension of the love and the loveliness of God, as perfect as his Creator and at peace within him. And at peace with him. And the last paragraph, 8. Blessed is the Son of God whose radiance is of his Father, and whose glory he wills to share as his Father shares it with him. There is no condemnation in the Son, for there is no condemnation in the Father. Sharing the perfect love of the Father, the Son must share what belongs to him, for otherwise he will not know the Father or the Son. Peace be unto you who rest in God, and in whom the whole sonship rests. Okay, well, a little bit more reading today than usual, but we got through it and we're looking good on time. Let's keep all in mind today. Every hour, take 5 minutes if you can. If not, at least tell yourself, salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. And if you can take just even a minute to close your eyes and see what thoughts you're thinking, ask God to give you a thought of which he always has given you a thought. He just wants you to be asking for it so he knows so that you're listening, so you can receive the thought that's always there. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. And for you students that have kind of joined along and didn't start at the first of the workbook, I would encourage you to go ahead and listen to me on the day that we're doing it, like today being the lesson for April the 6th of 26, lesson 96. Well, go ahead and listen to me, but don't listen more just don't really get too deep into it. And the reason I say that is because I'd rather you new students to go back to lesson 1 and really get into lesson 1, lesson 2 the next day, lesson 3 the next day. You can still listen to me for a little uplift and see what's going on around the world and to kind of see where you're heading as you progress through the year. But I'll start back on lesson 1 and you can take 2 or 3 days to do a lesson. And eventually I'll catch up with you again, or you can start with lesson 1 again on January the 1st. But I want you to build a good foundation, because you're starting, later in the reading if you just join with me by the date. But I think it's good to do that so that you kind of get an idea of what the land's going to look like, and you'll know what you're trying to do. Okay, Easter Monday today for Western Christians. It's Passion Week for the Eastern Orthodox Christians. Passover for the Jews, it's the 6th of the 8 days. Mahavir Jayanti, which is for the Jains, it's the birth of Lord Mahavira. Latter-day Saints Day, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I think was founded on this day. And some of them also believe this was Jesus' birthday. Kuan Yin's birthday for Buddhists and Taoists honors the Bodhisattvas of compassion. And we'd hope that'd be us, Bodhisattvas of compassion, or Buddhas. And then out of holidays and observances, I found that in the United States it's Army Day, Drowsy Driver Awareness Day, let's see, California Poppy Day, the Escolesia californica, and I did a little checking, and it is related to the opium poppy. The California and the opium poppy are both in the Papaveracea family. I think that's Papaveracea family, but they're different genuses. The California poppy is the wind just blew my page. Give me just a minute here to get set back up. Let's see if I can do this right. I thought I had it written down. The opium poppy is the Papaver somniferum, and the California poppy is the Eschscholizia californica. And the California poppy, since that's what today, has some sedative qualities. It's used as an analgesic, which is, a pain reliever. It's also used as a sedative and as an anxiety reducer. I found that on the herb book. Or no, I think I found that online. It wasn't in the herb book, that's right. Don't remember where I found those qualities that it's been used for. Anyway, it's Diangus Day, which is in a Polish holiday, the Monday after Easter, also known as Wet Monday. Fresh Tomato Day, the Solanum lysopersicum. International Asexuality Day, International of Sport for Development and Peace Day, Jump Over Things Day. We went around things yesterday. Today we're going to jump over them. Library Day, Student Athlete Day, Athlete for Peace. Siamese Cat Day, the Felis catus. Sorry Charlie Day, Tartan Day, New Beer's Eve Day, Peeps Day, Plan Your Epitaph Day, Tater Day, and that's for sweet potatoes, the Ipamea batatas. Waltzing Matilda Day in Australia, White House Easter Egg Roll Day, and World Table Tennis Day. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got a Crandall American Black Currant, a Ribes odoratum, also known as a Missouri currant. Its ideal pH is 6 to 7, but it can tolerate down to 5.5, up to 7.8. Real alkaline it can handle. So let's read what it says in edible landscaping about the Crandall Black Currant. And it says of the Crandall American Black Currant, in the spring, Crandall is a massive array of yellow trumpet-shaped flowers, a most striking ornamental found in the best gardens in Europe. Swallowtail butterflies flock to the blooms, also called clove currant and Missouri currant. The unique taste of the shiny black fruit is pleasant, height 4 to 5 feet, native, space 5-foot circles, zone 4 through 7. The Crandall American Black Currant, or the Clove Currant, or the Missouri Currant. And we won't have time to sing the entire song, but we can at least sing what you need to keep in mind throughout the day. And tell it to yourself often. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Let's see if I can put my little clipboard marker on here. I use some, what do you call them, clothespins to clip my page down so I can see my salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Say that today. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. And our word for peace, if I don't blow away here, is from the Kinyarwanda people of the Rift River Valley of Rwanda, and it's Amahora. Amahora be with you. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Amahora.